Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's show, Type in Freedom Now. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law. Friends, type in your freedom now, firstly. Secondly, tell me how you're feeling and where you're joining from today, what city, state, or country that you're watching from today. We're going to have a wonderful show. I'm going to go into a lot more details about what happened on Friday with the amazing news that came out of New York, the Southern District of New York, the Clinic versus Rubio case, and who it most positively impacts. Okay. And also what's next for others who are not going to see quite yet the visa being issued for them. Now, let's get into the chat and tell me, friends, if the audio is good on your end. Can you hear me well on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? I don't know if Facebook is joining. If we could check to see whether Facebook is on. Type in freedom now. Freedom now. How is the audio, friends? Good to see you. I hope you had a terrific weekend. I see that Tanzania is in the house. Thank you. Wow. Thanks for joining from so far away. Be sure to share this live session with others. Share this live session certainly on TikTok and double tap that screen. Hi there, Carmen. Good to see you. Hey there, Alpha. Thank you. Thank you for being here on this Monday. Awesome. Hey there, Ahmad. Audio is great. Okay, perfect. Friends, we're asking that you do not spam us in the chat. We do have the show is being moderated by one of my colleagues, and he's going to try his best to maybe answer a few questions that are not legal about how you can get in touch with us. We can be reached at 914-898-9488, or you could email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com. Good to see you. Let's get into the Clinic versus Rubio decision. On Friday night, the court, Judge Vargas out of New York, issued an amazing decision that focuses on the January cable that Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent to all the embassies and posts worldwide, telling them that they need to not issue visas, immigrant visas for individuals from 75 countries, despite the fact that they are eligible. But he told those embassies to pause the issuance of visas. Why? Because there is a concern that these nationals will become dependent on welfare benefits here in the United States. So this is called the public charge pause or public charge policy from the State Department. Now, the judge found this policy to be unlawful and vacated it. So it no longer exists. Okay. It no longer exists by law. Okay. We have not yet gotten any word from the State Department, no statements as of today's show. We have not seen anything from them yet saying that they will comply with the court order. We have not seen any directive yet to the individual officers across the globe instructing them to no longer apply this policy to individuals' visa application process. We haven't seen anything yet, and I have asked my colleagues, my attorney colleagues, to also keep me posted if they hear from other lawyers through the grapevine that their clients had received an email from the post or anything like that. Also, I'm asking you guys, keep me posted as well. Feel free to comment today or on any video that we have circulating out there today. Just comment. We most likely will see it, and let us know if you have received some sort of instruction from your embassy telling you that you've got to come back in or what the next steps will be for you. Please keep us posted. Now, this this ruling on Friday applies to all 75 countries. It applies to all of them. Again, this is only the policy, the public charge policy that the court found to be unlawful. Okay. Now, who does it impact most positively, like right away? Who will benefit from this pretty much immediately? Only nationals from 52 countries. Only those individuals from countries like Albania, Algeria, Armenia, Barbados, Belize, Brazil, Cambodia, Cameroon, Colombia, Ethiopia, Egypt, Ghana, Iraq, Guatemala, Jamaica, and many others. Okay, 52 countries are most positively impacted by this. And why do I say it that way? Well, because these are the countries that are not subject to the 212F travel ban under Presidential Proclamation 10998, which I'm going to talk about next. These countries are not subject to that travel ban. They are not considered partially restricted or fully restricted by our government with respect to travel. So here we're talking about Thailand, Russia, Nicaragua, Uganda, Uzbekistan, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Georgia, and many others. Okay, these are known as the 52. Let's refer to them as the 52. Now, the State Department must resume in processing of the visas pretty much immediately pursuant to this court order. The court has, I checked the court docket this morning. I did not see that the government filed an appeal yet to this decision. It's anticipated that the government will appeal this decision, and they might even ask for an emergency stay of this court order based on whatever public national security concerns that they might raise in their stay and appeal process. Why does this only impact, and most immediately positively, those 52 countries? This is now, we're going to now discuss the second ban because this is like a double ban that applies to some countries. The second ban is in effect, guys, partially restricting your visas and your travel to the United States, or fully restricting. The difference between the two is this: the countries that are the first 19 countries that our government announced, well, President Trump announced in his first presidential proclamation, those 19 countries are facing a full ban on both non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas. There were some limited exceptions that applied. But then at the end of last year, they added 19 more countries. And by the way, the other Palestinian Authority makes up the 39. So they added an additional 19 at the end of last year, and those 19 are facing a partial restriction. Only on the non-immigrant visa side, only students are restricted, visitors are restricted, and those seeking the immigrant visas are restricted partially. Okay, that's why it's partial restriction. The policy today. So now let's put it all together. These are now the 39 countries that are facing this second ban under Presidential Proclamation 10998, which relies on the INA Section 212F. 212F says whenever the president finds that the entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interests of the United States, he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. So that's what's blocking currently those from the 39 countries. There is current litigation, as I've mentioned and commenting to you guys over the weekend. There is litigation. We're not pursuing litigation on around 212F, but Impact Litigation has their Chukumba case pending in Washington, D.C. You guys can track that case. Chukumba, that's CHIKUMBA versus the Department of State. They filed it on February 4th of this year. That's one case. Then I heard recently that another firm has their 212F. I think it's a class action, if I'm not mistaken, that they filed just a few weeks ago. I haven't dived into that one yet. I don't have any details on how things are going with that one. But Chukumba, if you'd like details on that one, follow Chuck Cook on YouTube. He has great updates every week about their lawsuits. So listen out for the Chukumba lawsuit updates from Chuck Cook. Now, that's a mouthful, I know, but I wanted to go through this with you so that you understand the difference. Now, if you're here in the United States, the 39 country problem that I'm discussing and that you hear about since this clinic versus Rubio decision, it has nothing to do with you because the 39 country ban that is still in effect applies to individuals outside of the United States. For you here on the inside of the United States, the litigation most relevant to you is Dorcas. Our litigation and others have their cases going as well. Very relevant, quite relevant. Okay, quite relevant. And we also have a 75 country lawsuit going as well. It's for nationals from the 52 countries. And on Friday, before this decision came out, we filed our amended complaint, second amended complaint, in that case for our 82 plaintiffs. Okay. So there's a lot going on in the world of litigation, and I hope that this cleared things up for you guys. All right. Now, with that being said, let's just shift gears and go into your Q&As. Okay, I'm going to go all the way back up here. Good to see you guys. Freedom Now. Good to see you. Thank you for being here today. All right, let me just try to maybe scoot over a little bit. Freedom Now. I see New York is in the house. South Carolina. Thank you for being here. Delaware. Okay, Jamaica is in the house. Excellent. Now, let's see. First question doesn't have anything to do with this pause issue, but so we're going to take many different questions today. Someone came in with the J1 visa in Washington State in 2015 and stayed over and used a social security number to work and paid taxes. Is there any chance of that person being deported, or if they are arrested, can they be released on bond? So here you have someone who is a visa overstay who worked in the United States with the Social Security number that the government gave him or her in connection with the J1 visa. And they're asking whether they could be deported or if they're arrested, can they be released on bond? Bond is possible. Certainly, you would have to prove, or your lawyer will have to prove, that you're not a flight risk and some other factors, but bond is definitely possible if you're detained by ICE. And there's 11 to 15 million undocumented individuals in the United States today. Many of those individuals just had overstayed their visa. And so, not to say that you're a needle in the haystack, so to speak, but if they do arrest you or detain you, you can certainly get legal help and be released on bond potentially. All right. Now, next question. I want with my wife from my AOS, and I went with my wife to my adjustment of status interview in March, and they said everything was good and she would have been approved of the case. But because I'm from Nigeria, she cannot. What can I do now that the ban has been struck down? Through the Dorcas decision, you can speak with an attorney and see. One of the things that we would probably look at is when did you file the adjustment of status case, how long that's been pending, because there is still a big delay that a lot of people from the 39 countries here in the US are facing. There's a huge backlog. It continues to grow. It's unclear why the backlog continues to grow when USCIS is receiving fewer applications today than it did before in the past. So there is a backlog. Speak with an attorney. You could contact us one-on-one to see whether we would try to do maybe an individual mandamus for you and your wife. It's just unfair that the case has been pending as long as it has been. When will the embassies start issuing visas? Someone from TikTok is asking. So like I said earlier, we have not received or seen any guidance yet from the State Department in light of that is ordering their officers to no longer rely on Marco Rubio's cable from January. I don't know when the embassies will begin issuing visas. I think today people are there at U.S. embassies across the globe in these 75 countries, and I'm just really curious what the officers are doing, what they're telling people. What are they doing? If you have anyone, or if you or someone you know have has an interview today or this week, please share the experience on any of our videos on social media, or you could even write us at info@McBean Law and just tell me what you're seeing and experiencing. But I don't know yet when they're going to begin issuing the visas. Okay, let's go here. Thank you guys for being with me today on Instagram. Does the 39 country visa ban affect immediate relative cases from Nigeria? Yes, it does, because Nigeria is partially restricted, again, under Section 212F. For their student visas, the F, the M, I think the J is part of, yeah, FMJ, and exchange visitor visas, the visitor visa B1, B2, and all immigrant visas are currently on hold or banned by the Trump administration, and it includes Nigerians, unfortunately. Again, follow litigation about this issue. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Let's see. And I'm getting another question here about Nigeria. I've already answered that. Now, there's the DV lottery. 'Cause someone is asking a question about what's going on with the DV lottery. Do you think the recent court ruling could put enough pressure on the State Department to lift the DV 2026 pause voluntarily? Our government isn't going to do anything voluntarily. Just so you understand, they are not happy about this, but of course they probably predicted this because this cable was audaciously illegal. And I'm telling you, they wanted to see how long they could get away with this for and to reduce the numbers of immigrants flowing in to the country. And they were successful for 7 months. So do I think this decision on Friday is going to put pressure on them to voluntarily give up their fight around the diversity visa lottery, which this government hates like nothing else? No, I don't think they're going to voluntarily do anything with regard to that? Or do you think the DV pause itself is more likely to be vacated by a court? Now, I'm not laser focused on the DV lottery litigation. Again, impact litigation, Curtis Morrison through Red Eagle Law. That's their thing. They are doing a terrific job with that fight. Follow them every weekly, their weekly updates on YouTube. I don't have the bandwidth to keep up with the DV lottery process and problems, but certainly there is no pressure, I don't think, that will get the State Department to give up what it's doing. There are layers, layers of restrictions and policies in place to really block certain groups of individuals from coming to the United States right now. So what's happening through litigation, friends, is we're just trying to peel it one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Thank you, guys. Administrative processing, I was interviewed 2 years before. So you you could speak with us or speak with an attorney about what's going on there. I don't know if this why they've kept you in administrative processing for 2 years. Obviously, part of your journey and story of being in administrative processing has nothing to do with the visa pause or 212F. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Of course, these pauses and bans obviously hurt. You know, you got it really hurt because then it pushed you back and now you're waiting even longer. But speak with an attorney to see what else was going on there that even placed you in administrative processing. Thank you guys for being here today. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey. If you're now joining on TikTok, welcome. Type in freedom now. I'm going through various immigration questions that folks have. Let's see. Next question says, when will the 75 country visas pause start processing? I've already said that I have no guidance. No one has any guidance today at 1:21 p.m. Eastern time on this quite yet, but I suspect that the guidance will be coming hopefully soon because the officers, even today, will need to know what to do. Um, and when will they begin to approve the documents that we've already submitted to them? Hopefully, very soon. For those from the 52 countries, I'm suspecting that part of whatever write-up they're going to share with the officers today, for those who are in the 39 countries, they might remind the officers that these individuals are still banned under 212F under this presidential proclamation and that they shouldn't issue a visa to those individuals. But let's see, I'd love a really nice surprise today, okay? I would love a surprise today. A good surprise. Only good, okay? I'm not asking for a bad surprise today. Good surprise. All right, next question. Although the case is updated on June 22nd, but not approved, the document of co-sponsor yet. Now that the pause has been lifted, when will they review the case from my February 17th interview? So you interviewed with the embassy on February 17th. There was some issue there with sponsorship documents that they asked you to submit related to financial support. You've done so. I would imagine that if you're from one of the 52, that they would resume processing and send you some sort of email. If they need more documents from you, they will tell you. Let's see how they handle, how they comply with court order. Freedom Now, thank you so much for being here. Hello, hello. Share this live session with others. You never know who need the information that I'm sharing. Someone says appointments are being canceled. Tell me which country you're hearing that. And are you guys hearing that as well? Who had interviews for maybe this week? Have they canceled your interviews? Because that's another approach that they could take until they figure out how to respond here. I don't know how if they were surprised. Maybe they thought the Southern District of New York would have taken longer with the decision. I did. I pushed this to September. That was my thinking. Um, Maybe the government was caught off guard here. All right. Let's see. Is the O1 approved by USCIS affected by the ban or not? Is was your petition already approved? Uh, uh, I'm a little confused by the question, but of course, the petition that supports that was caught up in the 39 country adjudication hold. Can you explain the 601 waiver? The 601 waiver is a waiver that forgives individuals of various problems. We call those problems inadmissibility problems. And it covers things like fraud or misrepresentation or certain crimes or certain health grounds of inadmissibility. It's one of those waivers that are needed during the green card process. It's needed during the green card process for some people who have an inadmissibility problem that it covers. It's very strict. It's very strict in that it requires a certain relative for you to qualify for that waiver. Is is anything by the government on visa? Okay, we've already covered that, and I did answer one of your questions earlier. Um, let's see. Can my minor child be a derivative beneficiary if he hasn't been in the US? Abuser is a US citizen, I-360, self-petitioner filed in 2023. My child was 15 at the time. I think the child would be considered a derivative. I'm not really the expert there on that particular issue. You could speak with an attorney one-on-one about that. But, for friends, with regard to VAWA, what I can say, what I do know, is that if the abuse took place here in the United States, then even though you're no longer in the United States, it doesn't mean you're no longer qualified for VAWA. So, but this individual should certainly confirm the details with another attorney. Freedom Now, Pennsylvania is in the house. Okay, Nigeria, a lot of questions from Nigerians. If you're now joining and you're from a country like Nigeria or any of those 39 travel ban countries under Section 212F through Presidential Proclamation 10998 that was issued in December of last year, you should know that no court has struck down that problem yet. That would be the next amazing thing to happen, truly. Okay. Thank you guys. If your visa interview was scheduled for this week but yet they have canceled your interview, please comment and let me know. And tell me which embassy you're connected to. The case says, we received your application on November 16th. We will use your previous biometrics. As of May 16th, your case is still in process. I was detained for DUI that was reviewed, that ultimately ended as a disorderly misconduct. Are you going through the adjustment of status process? Is that what's happening here? Are you doing adjustment of status? I'm not sure really what you're asking there. Let's see. Someone who has an active VAWA case and yet that person received a notice to appear in immigration court. What does that mean? It means that the government has placed you in removal proceedings and you need to find an attorney right away to defend you in court. Let's see. My daughter has her interview in Paris. She's Haitian. I know that Haiti is on the ban list. And also, the officer had given me the form 212F. Okay. Yes, Haiti is facing a double ban. Double ban. Okay. No longer, however, banned under this awful Rubio cable, um, but still banned, unfortunately, under the 212F problem. It's time for us to obviously start to make some noise about it, right? Let's make some noise about the 212F problem, okay? Someone commented on TikTok, I'm going to address this on Friday night, a real snarky message saying, you didn't seem very happy about the decision and blah, 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 blah. Guys, you have to understand that in my mind, I'm thinking about the many, 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 many more people who are blocked still because they were facing a double block. They were, and plus we're in litigation. We know how this goes. We know that, okay, most likely they're going to appeal. They're going to try to drag this out. This is in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Don't know how that's going to shake out if there's a request for a stay, so like I get the news from one of you on Friday night in my DM saying, the clinic has a decision. And then I immediately go to it. I'm reading it. I'm trying to process things. It's 61 pages and it's been a long week. We just finished a 100-page amended complaint that we filed along with like several hundred exhibits, proven harm and this and that. And then this happened and I have to go live before you. I'm not going to be bouncing off the wall, right? There's a lot going on. But anyway, so I just want you guys to know that the fight continues, and I know many of you are really frustrated right now because your country is still blocked, and I get it. All right. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. All right. I got my DACA in 2013. I've been renewing it with no problems, and my mom, who is a citizen, filed an I-130 on my behalf in 2024. What are my prospects? I'm Ghanaian. Evan asked. So, Evan, you're an adult. You have been on DACA for many years. You probably had gotten it when you were under 18, maybe. And if that's the case, once your parents, if DACA continues, certainly, and the visa then becomes available to you through your mom's case, you will be able to, we'll see at the time, I don't know, you might be able to adjust status, or you would have to go to a US embassy abroad to finish your process. The other way that you could go about this, if you have no unlawful presence on your record, certainly, is you can maybe try to do a employer process. An employer process most likely will get you the green card here in the United States much, much faster than your mom's petition. But keep your mom's case going. It's a good case to have as a backup, but try an employment-based process that could potentially work out for you, okay? Someone said they canceled my interview for this week. Do you think they are clearing the backlog first, or they just wait in to see what DOS, Department of State is going to do? I don't know what the rationale is. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the agency. We have no insight, even though we're in litigation. They haven't shared any insights with us, of course, about what they're doing. We'll just have to see what happens this week. Okay. Um, Clearing the backlog. I don't know if they've made it that far yet. This decision came out Friday night, guys. It's just Monday afternoon. With this 52 country pause vacated, it's 75 countries, by the way, 75. This Rubio cable applied to 75 countries, and those posts at all 75 countries need to comply with court order. Now, this person is asking, will the I-130 be processed? Well, the I-130 is being processed at USCIS, and you should be in the clear there because Dorcas lifted that pause. All right, let's see. Someone says that we attended our interview in Montreal and we were not given our visas under 221G, F251 code. Okay, they administratively processed you like what they were instructed to do by Rubio. Okay, let's see, go down here. Let's jump over to TikTok, double tap the screen. Let's go up a little bit, see questions that I have missed. I'm among the 39 countries freeze. My oath ceremony was canceled. Still waiting. Sam, I've been hearing a lot about them canceling these naturalization interviews. I'm sorry, the oath ceremony. Even some of our plaintiffs have been reporting to us about this. It's like a yo-yo. They schedule it, then they deschedule it, and we've even had to get involved with one of them. I saw this morning our approval list from our I don't know which group though, which lawsuit this one is connected to. I could check right now. We had a naturalization. Oh, this is just the N-400 approved. I thought it was an oath ceremony. I don't see the oath ceremony. So they're doing something's going on there with the oath. Yes, it's fine that they approved the N-400, but let's get you to the finish line, right? That's what it's all about. You paid your fees to become a US citizen through that process. We're looking at this because something is going on with those oath ceremonies. Um, How long would I have to wait after divorce? I filed for my first wife before I remarry and file for my new wife. How long after divorce? Well, there's no magic number. Obviously, there's no magic number. There's no real formula. When it comes on to marriage, green card cases, guys, there is no formula, so to speak. Yes, I sometimes speak about a framework and a story and, all of that to help you to think about how to present your case to immigration, but there is really no formula, so to speak. Now, it's you could very well be successful filing right away for her once you remarry. I don't know how long you had been separated from your ex before you finally divorced. Don't know. Sometimes people are separated for years and moved on with their lives, and then they legalize the divorce, and so it just depends on your story. Speak with someone about that, an attorney, and that person can advise you. But I think that, I've seen it over the years where it's fine to file right away after a divorce. We've had cases like that too with our clients. Let's see. Um, can the J1 student adjust status without leaving the country? Some can. Those who are not subject to the 212, the the residency requirement, 2-year residency requirement, you might be able to. But even if you are subject to that requirement, you could seek a waiver of it. Let's see. Do you think after this administration leaves office that immigration policies will go back to the way it was under Biden? Under Biden was quite extreme in some ways, and I think we could all say that. I don't know if it's going to go back that far, right? It would be so amazing if we could just get back into the middle, right? And I don't know, U.S. immigration and U.S. politics are so extreme now. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to take years to unravel the mess that we are all swimming in currently. Uh, but certainly, I think immediately under the new administration, all of these terrible executive orders and policies will go away right away on day one. But then now, how how will the agencies operationalize the new stuff, right? It takes time. And what this government is doing, obviously, they're creating strong red tape through regulations, through, tying up these policies in various regulations. And so it takes time to then justify why a certain regulation should go away. So they know what they're doing this time around. They made a lot of mistakes during term one, and they came back with everything pretty much fixed. They've learned their lesson, so it's not to worry. People are still being approved. Things are still happening on that are good. Let's see. I don't know anything about the family unity issue there that someone is raising. Thank you for your gifts on TikTok. Thank you so much. If in a stable relationship with a partner over 10 years, with a partner who's more than 10 years older than you, can you still get married? If in a stable relationship with someone who's more than 10 years older than you, can you still get? It's your decision. It's your decision to marry whoever you choose to marry, so long as that marriage is legal in the jurisdiction where it happens. Your decision entirely. As far as immigration is concerned, I think you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about the age difference. We've had big age gaps over the years, sometimes 30 years, 34-year gap, and it still works. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's go down a little bit. Is someone from Ghana impacted by the 39 country pause in their quest for citizenship? So, the impact that you might be feeling right now is delay, unreasonable delay with your case, because of the pace of USCIS today and the policy environment that they're in. All right. But hopefully they will get to your application very soon. Thank you guys for paying attention to all of these important life-changing issues. Um, Next question says, let's pull this down a little bit. Some persons have interviewed today at Kingston Embassy in Jamaica. They were sent back home and told that they will reschedule them. Okay, so that's what Rosemary Chin 6803 is telling me here on YouTube, I think. So Kingston, Jamaica, the ones folks who went for their interview today were sent back home and told that they will reschedule them back over their interview. I'm wondering why that has happened. It happened because on Friday, the judge in New York struck down that terrible pause that was impacting immigrants in Jamaica. And the embassies have not yet received anything to my knowledge. I'm sure there would be a leak somewhere. um, they have not received any guidance yet. I think they were blindsided by this. I think they were blind. And Judge Vargas is so new, 2024 judge, appointed under the Biden administration, but many, many years in the U.S. Attorney's Office, many years there. So, of course, deep knowledge and experience. But this is a good one. If I was her, I would frame it. I would frame all 61 pages. It would be like all over my office. Like I did that. I did that, and it feels good. No, what she did though, guys, is grounded in the law. She just said, the law is clear. The law is clear. Why is this happening? But I would frame it. No wall space in my office, if that was my opinion. Let's keep going. I answered that one about the daughter in Paris from Haiti. Let's see. My priority date is July 13th, 2024. It's an I-130 case, and I'm from Ethiopia. My mom has been living in the United States, who is a permanent resident. My case is still at USCIS. What should I do? Well, what you should do, so your priority date is 2024, and are you in the F2B category? It sounds like you might be in the F2B category. September, okay, finally, the September visa bulletin is out. Let's see. Let's see. This is the F2B category, right? They're only up to 2019. That's what I'm seeing here. Is this September? Yeah, September 2026. Okay. Um, for the which category? I'm sorry, F2B, second preference category for adults, children of green card holders, right? That's you. 2024 is your priority year. They haven't reached that far yet. They're still stuck on cases, or I should say, they're still processing visas for individuals who filed as of August 2019. Freedom Now, great question. You're getting closer to the finish line. Let's see. My case is an EB2 national interest waiver. 4 times I was interviewed, 4 times interview rescheduled. This person says, went from UAE to Pakistan, doing job in UAE. Now medical has expired. Still uncertain for what's coming. Um, what if 2 times medical done and expire again? The embassy have no sympathy, unfortunately, to that problem. They would just say, just give us a current one. In order for us to move forward with your case, give us a current one. Pakistan is one of those 52 countries that are most positively impacted. I don't know if my colleague had updated, if my colleague had already updated the the graphic. I could pull it up confidently, maybe to the show so that folks could see those 52 countries. All right. Um, let's go. Freedom Now from Guatemala. Good to see you, Cindy. Thank you for being here today. Let's go down a little bit. I've answered that. Mexico appointment. Um, Someone says in Mexico, they are canceling all immigrant appointment for visas today. Okay, here we go. The interviews are being canceled. Mexico and Jamaica are canceling appointments. Yep, those are the two I see now. Is Haiti good now for the court order? No, Haiti is facing the Section 212F ban, the travel ban is still on Haiti at this time, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. California is in the house. Thank you so much for joining today from California. Are motions to reopen with the immigration judges harder to be approved? Yes, they are. They are. They are. It's a tougher environment. Get good legal help um, uh, before you file a motion to reopen your removal case. You're engaged to be married to a U.S. citizen, already has a B1, B2. What visa can you get for your kids to attend? To attend what? You're here in the United States. Are you going through an immigrant process? Of immigration process to get the green card and you want to bring your children here, it would be an I-130 process for them through your US citizen spouse, provided that you guys had gotten married when the children were all under the age of 18. They should be able to get the I-130. um, Okay, let's see. Next question. I-601A was approved a year ago, documentarily qualified in September 2025. Would it be okay to wait in the country, or should we stay in the United States until the appointment is scheduled? Well, would it be okay to wait in the country? The 601A, by definition, allows you to wait here until the embassy schedules your interview before you leave. I do not think it's a good idea to leave the United States before your interview has been scheduled, number one. And number two, you um, give it a little bit more time if you're from one of these 75 countries or even the 52 who are most positively impacted. Um, if you're from one of those countries, you've got to give it some time to see what's going on. What is the guidance? Are people getting their visas? Are things back to normal? It's at that point then you should consider leaving after you get your date from the embassy. I wouldn't leave before that because you could be stuck. Because, when if the government files an appeal, an appeal creates a great deal of uncertainty, and appeal of these types of cases, guys, could be dragged out for years. This is not some fast overnight process when it comes on to an appeal. It takes years. Okay. So give it some more time before you arrange to leave the United States. Someone says, very nice mug. Thank you. I think I just picked this up at maybe Home Goods, right? Home Goods. That's where I got this one. Let's see. My 48-month extension is about to expire. What can I do next? I think the government is going to get you to the finish line before your extension expires. This is the removal of conditions case. You should be preparing yourself to get to that finish line. Have you been interviewed yet? If not, then the interview most likely will be the next step in your process. The government rarely allows it to expire. They get all the way to the 4-year line, finish line, and nothing. They haven't taken any action in your case unless they've come up with some policy that fully blocks you. Again, I read 12 to 12F to you guys earlier, and it's pretty broad. It's pretty broad, but when the president tried to apply this section of the INA to block asylum seekers, a judge did strike that down in April. I was doing some homework before today's show. um, a judge did order the administration to stop that, right? It's broad, but there are some limitations. But I have not seen any lawsuit get close to the finish line. Oh, friends, when you get your visa and you come to the United States, if you're from one of these 75 countries, guys, you guys got to donate. You got to donate to clinic. You've got to donate. These are organizations, nonprofits out there who are pushing and fighting for you. Look at those organizations that are involved in this clinic v. Rubio lawsuit. There's another one. I think it's called African. What is it called again? Ugh, if someone on my moderator can maybe help me out, there's um, there's another organization that is connected to the Clinic v. Rubio case, and I know Clinic is getting all of the attention, but there's a second organization, I think, that's part of that litigation. Guys, give to these nonprofits or have your US citizen petitioners make a donation. They're fighting for you guys, okay? You didn't have to pay for any of this, and it's benefiting you. So please do not forget these nonprofit organizations when you come to the United States with your visa. Please give to them. They are on the front lines, okay? Clinic, that's the Catholic Legal Immigrant or Immigration. What does clinic stand for again? Let's see. Um, I need the other organization here because I really think it's very important that that folks, Catholic Legal Immigration Network. Okay, donate. Why? Because many of these organizations, guys, had benefited from grants because they were doing good, smart work over the years, and the government gave them grants to continue doing their good and smart work. But the Trump administration took away their grants, and now they have to rely on different type of funding from individuals, rely on funding from corporations and other sources. So please consider contributing, donating to these organizations fighting for you. Okay, so here's a list. I don't see the the source, but it's African Communities Together, National Immigration Law Center, um, uh, the Legal Aid Society, Democracy Forward Foundation, Western Center on Law and Poverty, and the Center for Constitutional Rights. Are they all involved in the lawsuits? I want to make sure, but these are still good organizations to support because they are fighting for immigrant rights and your family unity. Okay, so consider donating. And no, I don't know anyone at those I do know one person at clinic, but she's involved in public policy lobbying work. Don't know anyone else at the others. Maybe National Immigration Law Center sounds really familiar. All right, let's go down. So my point is, I'm not benefiting from, asking you to donate to them. You're benefiting really from their work. My friend was arrested by ICE in Seattle, Washington for overstaying the visa. Hopefully, Annie, your friend, is working with an attorney to seek a bond. Okay. Let's go down a little bit. You guys have great questions today. Um, Let's see. I am a Nigerian and I live as a permanent resident here in the United States for over 15 years now, but I have one misdemeanor record. And my question is it safe for me to travel within the United States? You might be fine within the United States. The problem that we're facing now with domestic travel has to do primarily with individuals who do not have residency. Okay? But you should be fine. Is there any active litigation regarding the 39 country ban? Yes, I did mention the Chukumba case pending in the District of Washington, D.C. In that court, and that's an impact litigation case. You can track that one. I haven't seen anything happen yet. They filed it in February, but watch Attorney Chuck Cook's weekly live sessions where they do, if there's anything important that happens with their cases, that's where you're going to find that information on a weekly basis. All right. Let's see. Thank you, guys. I was I was arrested for reckless driving in 2021 before I got my green card. The case was resolved with a bond forfeiture, no conviction or time served, neither guilty plea. Can I travel internationally? Can I travel internationally? Um, you might be fine. And if I was in your shoes and I said that and someone said that to me, I wouldn't feel that comfortable. You might be fine. Why? Because comfortable with the feedback. Why I say it that way? Because I don't know how they're gonna treat it. The case was resolved, no big deal, but I don't know if they most likely will pull you into secondary questioning, so be prepared for that. Have your records showing how it was resolved, and but you should be allowed in. You will be allowed into the United States. That I do know for sure. And that's not a crime that could get you deported either. All right, let's go down. What about Somalia? What about Somalia? I know Somalia, TPS, I think has been how do I hold on a second here? Can I block? Okay, I'm going to block an account here on TikTok. Someone is asking folks to pay his rent. Um, Somalia, I think I am right about that, guys? For those of you from Somalia, I think TPS ended for Somalia not too long ago. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. I don't have any other specific Somalia specific information to share with you today. Let's see. Somalia. And Somalia is one of those 39 countries that are facing a full restriction right now on travel. Is Antigua and Barbuda, I'm sorry, still banned? So let's see, Antigua is a partially restricted country. Yes, it is still facing an immigrant visa ban at this time, unfortunately. Let's see. I'm waiting for over a year and a half now for my I-485. My case is a daughter filing for a parent, a year and a half. Okay. I got my work authorization last year, November. Uh, Did the 39 country hold slow your case down? Because that is a long time for a child parent case. It shouldn't really take that long. It could be related to the adjudication hold. Um, I have an approved 601A waiver. I'm currently using Medi-Cal. I think that's some government assisted, I don't know, health insurance. It expires November 2026. Should I disenroll or still renew it? Now, um the public charge issue could very well come up when it's your turn to be interviewed at the US Embassy. The Although we know that September 18th is the start date for the new DHS public charge rules and the adjustment of status, they're going to, apply it to the adjustment of status process, any means tested benefits that individuals had used in the past would will will be a problem during adjustment of status, and that includes student loans. But as far as what you'll face when you leave the United States and go to the US Embassy, that I think is still to be determined because the embassies do not yet have the new screen and guidance from the State Department. Remember, that's the rationale. They paused all of these visas for 75 countries, saying that they're going to develop more screening tools or protocols or policies on how to handle the public charge problem, so to speak. And so we haven't seen that yet. We don't know what they're working on. I don't know. Is it going to just be something like give us more evidence that you're not going to be a public charge individual, so to speak? Give us more information about your health, your education, your family status, those categories that the government, that an officer is supposed to look at. Are they going to um, make the document requirement harder or more severe for individuals? Or and maybe potentially and add monetary figure to it, like a bond, require a bond? Is the bond going to just be offered to individuals who were refused because they have a potential public charge problem, or is the bond going to be more broadly applicable to like every candidate applicant? I don't know how they're going to do it. Don't know yet, but whatever you can do now to disengage from using public benefits, you should definitely disengage from using public benefits at this time. Someone says, I have been separated from my children as I'm in India to attend my sick mom, who unfortunately could not survive. I'm sorry to hear that. And my minor children are in the United States. I'm waiting for an appointment for, I'm waiting for appointment for extension. I'm not okay. I'm not sure what you're really asking me there, though. What is going on there? Um, because India was not connected to any of the pauses or bans, right? Yeah, India was not, is not, because they are a financial powerhouse. That's why. That would be a big problem if they were, right? Like China, right? Big financial power. They're not going to touch those countries. Okay, let's go down a little bit, guys. Should I wait or email the embassy? I'm not sure what you're connected that's connected to. Let's go down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do not spam, guys. It makes it harder here. What category would I be in? My husband filed in 2024 for my I-130, and I was counted down the days when the pause started, I think. I'm not sure what you mean there. Is it risky to apply for adjustment of status or my husband by ourselves, or is it mandatory to get a lawyer? It is not, nothing is mandatory. Nothing is mandatory. Um, I think you should get some legal help. That's my position. I think you should. The environment speaks for itself. I don't even have to justify what I'm saying here. Look around you and see for yourself what's happening. And I'm not saying that a lawyer will guarantee you a success, because it does not at all. But there most likely are things that you might not know that the lawyer can help catch for you. Thank you, guys. If you're now joining in, double tap the screen on TikTok, say hello, hello, and Freedom Now, and be sure to follow. If you have not yet started following, let's see, 114 of you did follow today during this live session. Thank you very much. Welcome, 115. Follow, follow, follow. And certainly you want to also subscribe to YouTube, right? Subscribe to McBean Immigration TV on YouTube. Did they, someone is late to the show and is asking, did they lift the 75 country ban? Watch the replay on YouTube for my full explanation of everything related to the 75 country pause. But yes, the judge on Friday last week did strike down that terrible cable and policy that Marco Rubio had in place, blocking 75 countries. It applies to all 75 countries, but only 52 countries are most immediately positively impacted by it, because the rest of the countries are facing another pause, a ban under the Presidential Proclamation 10998, based on a section of the law INA called Section 212F. So that problem hasn't been struck down or successfully handled in the courts yet. Okay. Okay. I'm not okay, well, Ayla or various attorneys prepared to challenge the matter of Del Carmen Lara in federal court. Is there currently any pending challenge, petition for review, request for stay, injunction, or other legal action? Um, I don't know what's happening with that one. I don't know. I have seen some chatter, yes, on the various the ALA listserv, but I'm not sure who is handling the challenge to that matter. Don't know. Thank you guys. My case status flipped from case being reviewed by USCIS to still processing the case. They've changed the language. Because that to me, that's there means the same thing. Cases being reviewed, cases being processed. I don't know why they've changed the language there. Thank you. Janice says I'm a client. Thank you, Janice. She says thanks for answering my questions. I'm a client. Um, Hi, McBean. I've been here for 15 years. I have my mom that I am a caregiver for, and she is a citizen, and my case is at the asylum office. But I went to court, and my attorney, she said my NTA is defective, no criminal history, blah, blah, blah. Um, it continues. Says, she says my NTA is defective, no criminal. Um, am I eligible? If my mother is a US citizen, he says, why asylum? Oh, no, he's answering somebody else's question. So he's asking his own question, then answering other people's questions. It threw me off a little bit there. I wish you well in your case. You have an attorney, your removal case, you have an attorney. Hopefully that person is challenging, using the best strategy there for you. Am I eligible for cancellation of removal? It's going to depend on you being a caregiver for your mom is a good argument to be made, but let's see what your judge says. I don't know what else your attorney is arguing for you on behalf of that cancellation of removal application. Double tap the screen, guys. Hello. I hope you had a great weekend. If you were in my stories, you saw that one of my former students from China, I taught English and history in China at a college many, many years before I went to law school. And one of my old students was in the United States with her family. They came to my neck of the woods on Saturday. We had a wonderful lunch together, and it was just so great to see her after all these years. We couldn't believe it that so many years had passed. Over 20 years actually had passed since we saw each other. So it was so nice to see her. Oops. She said her husband watches me, and they met in college at the same university where I taught, and they met during their second year, and he remembers seeing me on campus. I was unforgettable because I was the only um, brown skinned person. I was the talk of the city during that time. It was a very long time ago, and it was so wonderful to see them. That made my weekend. Double tap the screen, guys. If I leave the United States before my I-130 application is approved, what happens? Lady J268, speak with an attorney before you leave, because you could trigger possibly, I don't know if you've overstayed a visa, but if you have stayed in the United States for over 12 months, I would say, you're going to face a ban to return into the United States, and you want to get things fully situated before you leave the United States, know exactly how to come back and when, what the timing will look like for you to return to the United States. That's the most important issue to sort out before you leave, okay? I speak to people from time to time with the most heartbreaking facts involving leaving the United States prematurely. And now so many issues are facing them, and they didn't get the information before leaving, and some of them might not even ever come back. So please speak with a lawyer before you leave the United States. Someone says that my N400 processing in California, San Jose, has shifted from 8.5 months to 13 months. Yes, they are the backlog, right? Unknown. Why? What's the reason? Why is it growing, swelling? We need clear explanation from USCIS. Um, What is the best option for someone who has been waiting for adjustment of status since 1 year and 8 months? I'm from Haiti. Keep going. Keep going. There's nothing else to say. Just keep it up. Keep going, right? You have at least you have an adjustment of status case, right? It's taken a little bit longer than we you would like, certainly, but you have one. Okay? And I hope that this little fan is not going to be a problem for you guys on Instagram. If there's a little sound that you're hearing there, maybe one of my colleagues can tell me. Let's see. Thank you. All right. Freedom now, guys. Um, let's see. What is your handle on TikTok? It's McBean Immigration Law. McBean Immigration Law. Please make sure that the word immigration is spelled correctly. There are so many, so many, so many, so many fake accounts, so many fake accounts in our name on TikTok. Don't chat with anyone in DM on TikTok. Do not engage at all in DMs on TikTok. Um, do not, do not, do not. The best way of reaching us is by calling our office at 914-898-9488. Or you could also, friends, go to our website at mcbeanlaw.com. So it's McBean Immigration Law. Okay. Oh, TikTok does this now? I'm now realizing that I could see myself live on TikTok now. They've made some upgrades there. Okay, so be careful with TikTok. Okay. Okay, let's go down. I see a super chat. Thank you for your super chat. I'm going to pull you up right now. Matt, 8. Is 12 months prolonged delay for marriage? Submitted the case in September of 2025. Is that considered a delay? Not yet. No. It's not, unfortunately. I wish I could say that yes, it is, but it really isn't. 1 year, almost 1 year into your marriage petition process is not considered a delay significant enough for like a mandamus lawsuit. Um, I wouldn't take it so soon. But you might find somebody who will do it, but we wouldn't do it so soon. What happened on Friday? Friday, Dahlia, you should probably go watch the live session because we had great big immigration news involving the 75 country case. A judge struck it down. Is Sierra Leone still on the 39 country list? Sierra Leone. Yes, it is actually. Unfortunately, it's still fully restricted. Fully. I, you know, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the government's rationale for doing this. Thank you so much for giving us information. I'm really glad you have a TikTok. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Is Malawi fully restricted too? Malawi. Malawi is partially restricted. And because Malawi is partially restricted, the visas will not be issued at this time. Now, the partial restriction for those from Malawi covers touches or hinders the B1, B2 visitor visas, the FMJ and exchange visitor visas, so the student visas, and also all immigrant visas. That's what they call partially restricted. I don't know about the Afghan SIV. I know that you guys asked me questions about that. I don't have the bandwidth. Don't have the bandwidth. My mother says, "How do you answer all of those questions?" And I hope she heard me say, I don't have the bandwidth for this one. Um, Please, you could call us at 914-898-9488 to meet with an attorney. What about Cameroon? Cameroon is in the clear. Cameroon is in the clear, right? Cameroon is in the clear because it is not one of those restricted countries, right? They were not connected to the first 19 fully restricted, and they are also not on the. I have three lists here. It's three lists. So yeah, Cameroon is in the clear. Thank God. Someone says, I've sent an email. Renata, you sent an email to Kingston. You're waiting on your reply. Okay. Does the I-130 expire? Technically, it does not expire, but be careful if it does go over to the National Visa Center and you don't take any action over there. That's when it can become a problem and you could lose that I-130 approval if you do not take action at the Visa Center. Passport Life says 455 watching. Please touch the like button. Yes, that's right. If you're joining on YouTube, hit that like button. Hit the like button. Okay, my mother got a letter from USCIS that she needs to send in an RFE because she admitted in the interview that she intentionally overstayed on her visa after her son filed for her. So they tricked her a little bit there, right? During the interview. That's how I'm reading this. Because there is a way of answering these questions at USCIS and being aware of what is really being asked. And you should tell the truth, never misrepresent at your green card interview. They might have I don't know, maybe she might have been confused by the question or maybe had said something that she was confused by. All right. That's a possibility. But what they are looking at here now is trying to trap her a little bit into this corner of using her visa for the purpose of coming to the United States to overstay and apply for a green card, maybe. She should speak with us or someone about what happened there. Happy to help her with that. How much time should we wait for the embassies to receive the guidance from the State Department so that they could start processing the visas? I don't know. I would really like to see something happen this week. Obviously, we all are ready to go. This is an easy fix. This is just a one-liner. Please do not no longer apply cable, what is it? Cable, whatever that number is. I had it here in front of me a little while ago. Do not apply this cable. Pursuant to court order, period. There's nothing else to say, other than, okay, now, resume processing. Follow normal administrative processing protocol to get these people out of administrative processing. Resume, right? Like that's a good word. That's a word for the week. Resume, resume processing. Um, Let's see. And guys, as you hear from the embassy this week, maybe I don't know, please let us know what you're hearing. Please just comment on any of our posts on social media or send us an email. Let us know what you're hearing and what you're going through. This person was spamming. When will student and tourist visas be available again? I'm not sure because, as you know, there are 39 countries facing these bans right now, fully and partially restricted bans. So it's unfortunate that they're doing this. And I don't know if the travel ban, this 212F problem is going to be around throughout his entire administration. I think that was the intent all along for 4 years, block people. We'll see what happens with cases like Chukumba and other cases that are pending in court. Let's go down a little bit. Where can I view which which countries are the 75 that are impacted? Well, you could go to, let's do this. I think it's this one here. You can go to the State Department's website. You could Google how do I usually do it? Visa, State Department Visa News, something like that. I think I usually say uh, Visa News or something like that from the State Department. And look at their February 2nd, 2026 news about the suspension of visa issuance. They have two from that day. And then let's go back here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the second one has a nice list here, so to speak. It's right at the top. February 2nd, 2026, immigrant visa process and updates for nationals at high risk of U.S. public benefits reliance. That's where you're going to see right at the top of this press release, U.S. visa news. That's what will get you to this. You'll see the list of countries there. I don't think on our website we have the full list. We probably have it in some old blog post, but I wouldn't search around there. Just do your Google search and you'll see what I'm referring to right here. Okay. My wife is attending visa interview to get 212F and 212A4. Do you still think upload new I-864 public charge? Why are you doing this to me, Cami? Cami, what does this mean? I have no idea what we're talking about there. I have no idea what we're talking about there. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Other question I can answer before we wrap up. All of my process is applied, except I have been waiting on the interview stage for a year. I applied from one of the 75 countries, Ethiopia. How much longer do I have to wait? Um, I've been saying that no one knows really when the State Department is going to issue the guidance to those officers. We heard today on this show from others, from you guys, that they've canceled interviews that were scheduled for this week, for today at least, for folks in Jamaica and Mexico. Those are the two countries that I'm aware of that interviews were canceled. So they're trying to figure out their next steps. Okay. And once we know, we'll share the information with you guys as well. It could be it could be in a post on Facebook and Instagram, or it could be maybe in our stories. We share information in various ways. Thank you, guys. Let's see. From Iran, interviewed in December 2024, 221G due to medical. After medical completed in May 2025, my SEAC received lots of updates till it stopped on July 25th. Should I email the embassy or still wait? Um, Now, let's see. Iran is still fully restricted. And not just there, but at USCIS, they don't really seem like they want to move on applications for Iranians. But as far as this policy is concerned that we're discussing today, Iran is still on that list and subject to 212F. So I don't know how effective an email to the embassy at this time could be. You need that 212F to be removed from your application, and that's hopefully will happen through litigation, unless they surprise us this week and just says we're going to forget everything, right? And I don't expect that to happen. I applied for a U visa. I didn't get the BFD. Is it okay to do a mandamus? I wouldn't do it. What are you trying to what next action are you trying to force there? The BFD, you might not even get it. Some people don't get it. It's not a guarantee. It's not something that they give to everyone. Some people just won't get it because they just don't have a good U visa case that looks credible to the government. So I don't know what you'd be seeking from a mandamus in this instance. Hi, James. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Let's see. Is there an active lawsuit about the 19 countries partial ban? I'm Nigerian and I'm not sure if I can now apply for my student visa. Student, yeah, they will not issue it. They will not issue it. I had to refresh my memory this morning by going back and reading some of those press releases and statements and some other things that happened last year and earlier this year. There is lawsuit, as I've mentioned, to Chukumba, and another lawsuit filed by attorney Josh Goldstein, I believe. Yes, their firm filed a lawsuit. I want to say it's a class action in Washington State, not DC. I think it's the Western District of Washington, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that one. That one's new. I don't know anything about that one. I haven't even pulled it up really to see what's going on there, but you follow him and follow the other attorney in the Chukumba case to know what's going on um, with this case, with these cases. Let's see. I know I have notes, but you guys don't care where it was filed. Yeah, Western District of Washington. Okay, so try that. Try that. Track that case. I've answered this one already. Thank you. If you have not yet started following me on TikTok, follow, follow. Will the government get will the government get what, a stay by the Supreme? Where's the question? Um, Someone was asking a question about Supreme Court. I just lost it because all of these other questions came in. Let's go up a little bit here. And then that one person keeps spamming me about Afghanistan, Afghan SIV, and all of that. And I've already said I don't have the bandwidth. I don't want to block you. Please, as a courtesy to me, just stop asking me that question. uh, my I-130 and 45 have been pending since May of 2023. I think you might need a mandamus at this point. How does the 39 country ban impact upcoming green card interviews for people from those countries? Many of our, in certain lawsuits that we have pending, many of our plaintiffs are getting their approvals. Okay. So I have not seen, like a higher denial rate for individuals from the 39 countries versus those from non-39 countries. I haven't seen that. And I also haven't seen any retaliatory action by USCIS for involving our plaintiffs. What I have observed, as I've said already, is discriminatory practices with regard to the pace of adjudications. For instance, they are adjudicating applications for various other groups faster than certain groups. And that is a big concern, certainly. But they are adjudicating cases. Yes, an I-130 denial can go through a reopening process. How about Fiji? How about Fiji? Okay. How about Fiji? That brings me to we had, I don't know, where is our success story here that I had, let's go. I don't see it. Where is our success story? Last night we had a terrific success story. Here it is. Terrific success story. It's on our website and it does involve a client from Fiji. And she had prior overstay and departure, but she got her green card through us in 6 months. A client from Fiji became an LPR resident, lawful permanent resident, in just 6 months, despite a complicated immigration history. She first entered the U.S. on a visitor B1, B2 visa in 1998, overstayed, and then departed in 2000. After remaining outside of the United States for more than 16 years, she did lawfully return in 2017 on a new 10-year visitor visa. Her case was further complicated, however, by the use of different surnames over the years and inconsistencies with family records. After her U.S. citizen daughter turned 21, she became eligible to apply for a green card as the parent of a U.S. citizen. And we reviewed her immigration history, of course, determined that the prior unlawful presence bar no longer applied because she had remained outside of the United States for well over 10 years before returning. And the firm also addressed all of the identity and documentation issues in her case. And actually, that was the most complex part of it all, helping USCIS to really understand the use of these many names over the years. And we did file her I-130 and her I-485 in February of this year. And following her adjustment of status interview in earlier this month in August, USCIS approved her application the very next day. And this case, we say here, determines how a thorough legal analyst that didn't read so well. Doesn't This case demonstrates that it is better to have a carefully prepared and a case that is analyzed well, so that you could overcome complex immigration issues. All right. So that's Fiji. Fiji. Okay. All right. Let's see. If I could take maybe just a couple more questions, and then we're going to end today's show. Uh, Most places, the fiance visa is not impacted. Um, in most countries, it is a non-immigrant visa. Can a U.S. citizen file for her unmarried daughter and grandchildren at the same time? So U.S. citizens can file for their unmarried children, and the grandchildren will be part of the case. This is in the F1 category for unmarried children of U.S. citizens. If the child is married, well, they will be in a different category, but still the children can come or be joined to the case. Great question. Let's see. I'm from Ivory Coast in West Africa. I did my petition on my I-130 petition. I think, I don't know. I did my petition on June 2023. And when I checked my status, the write-in USCIS says it's still processing my case. What can I do? What category are you in? Who filed for you? I'm really curious whether a visa is available for you. Um, that could very well be part of the slowdown, the delay with your case. All right. Miss. Thank you to the others for your super chat. I don't see any questions attached to it. I only see the gifts. What you should do, give to the organizations that are fighting for you, the nonprofits that are fighting for you and your family unity. Earlier, I did mention Clinic, okay, the Catholic legal organization that is fighting for you guys. And I mentioned a few other organizations as well. The African Communities Together, National Immigration Law Center, the Legal Aid Society, Democracy Forward Foundation, Western Center on Law and Poverty, and the Center for Constitutional Rights. Now, you see what it takes to really, you see all of these organizations are involved in this. They're all sharing the work. They're sharing the load here, and they're pushing for you guys and your family unity. So you have your U.S. citizen, or green card holder family members give. Give to them, guys. Show your appreciation, okay? Show your appreciation. I'm going to jump off now. I'm going to jump off. It was wonderful being with you guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. You can reach out to us at 914-898-9488 or email us at info@mcbeanlaw.com to schedule a consultation with an attorney. We are here. We're available for you. Although we are located in White Plains, New York, we work with clients nationwide and across the globe. Thanks so much for being with me, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.